AOC slams progressive critics over Iron Dome vote, full breakdown. AOC fires back at progressive critics for misrepresenting her Iron Dome stance in defense bill debate. Exciting news, you can now listen to Fox News articles. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a Democrat from New York, is fiercely defending herself against accusations from within her own party regarding her stance on a crucial government funding vote late last week. Google is free. If you claim I supported military funding, you're simply not telling the truth. Here are the receipts, Ocasio-Cortez declared, accompanied by several screenshots that clearly showed her voting no on the Republican-backed military funding bill. Feel free to criticize my positions all you want, but spreading lies doesn't make you a true member of the left. If you think neo-Nazis are acceptable and acting in good faith, you can have them. The New York City lawmaker faced intense criticism from her fellow progressives for her vote on a specific amendment aimed at halting U.S. funding for Israel's Iron Dome. Interestingly, this amendment did not make it into the final bill, which Ocasio-Cortez also voted against. Far-left firebrand declares SHE never had a concern about Biden's mental state as House investigation intensifies. https://www.foxnews.com/politics/far-dash-left-firebrand-says-she-never-had-concern-about-biden-mental-state-house-probe-heats. Over the weekend, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez came under fire from the far left. Getty Images. The Democratic Socialists of America, DSA, took issue with the progressive icon for opposing an amendment introduced by Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican from Georgia, which sought to block $500 million in the annual defense spending bill earmarked for Israel's missile defense systems. An arms embargo means preventing all weapons from reaching a genocidal military, with no exceptions. This is precisely why we object to Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's vote against the amendment that would have withheld $500 million for the Israeli military's Iron Dome program, the DSA stated over the weekend. The DSA acknowledged that she did vote against the overall defense funding bill, effectively voting against funding for the imperialist military-industrial complex and the Israeli genocide. However, the group expressed deep disappointment with her clarification on the Iron Dome issue. Alongside other U.S.-funded interceptor systems, the Iron Dome has emboldened Israel to invade or bomb at least 5 different countries in the past 2 years, the DSA argued. The fact that Representative Ocasio-Cortez recognizes that Israel is committing genocide makes her support for military aid. https://www.foxnews.com/category/s/military, all the more perplexing and inconsistent. We urge her to continue voting against the Iron Dome, whether it is part of a broader defense spending bill or a standalone measure. The DSA praised Representatives Rashida Tlaib, a Democrat from Michigan, Ilhan Omar, a Democrat from Minnesota, Summer Lee, a Democrat from Pennsylvania, and Al Green, a Democrat from Texas, for their votes against the amendment. Fox News Digital reached out to Ocasio-Cortez's campaign and congressional office for a statement. 148 Democrats support non-citizen voting in D.C. as GOP sounds the alarm about foreign agents. https://www.foxnews.com/politics/148-democrats-back-non-citizen-voting-DC-GOP-raises-alarm- about-foreign agents. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene spearheaded the amendment, which was overwhelmingly defeated. Anna Moneymaker/Getty Images. Following the vote, Ocasio-Cortez took to X to explain, Marjorie Taylor Greene's amendment does nothing to stop offensive aid to Israel nor halt the flow of U.S. munitions being used in Gaza. Naturally, I voted against it. What it does is eliminate defensive Iron Dome capabilities while allowing the actual bombs that kill Palestinians to continue. I have consistently stated that I do not believe increasing the death toll of innocent victims contributes to ending this war, she emphasized. This is a straightforward and clear difference of opinion that has long been established. My focus remains on cutting off the supply of U.S. munitions that are being used to perpetuate the genocide in Gaza. This clash highlights the ongoing ideological divide within the Democratic Party over Israel. It's not the first time Ocasio-Cortez has faced criticism from the progressive base for not taking a sufficiently critical stance on Israel. In 2021, the New York Democrat was visibly emotional on the House floor. https://www.foxnews.com/politics/AOC-present-vote-Israel-iron-dome-cried-tears. After voting present on funding for Israel's Iron Dome defense system. "Yes, I cried," she wrote in an open letter to her constituents following the incident. "I cried over the utter disregard for the human beings affected by these decisions. I cried because an institution chose a path of maximum volatility and minimal consideration for its own political convenience." Click here to get the Fox News app. https://foxnews.onalink.me/xlds?pid. AOC's Bronx office vandalized after controversial Israel aid vote. In a shocking turn of events, the Bronx office of U.S. House member Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was vandalized early on Monday, according to New York City police. The incident occurred amidst a tumultuous time for the progressive Democratic congresswoman, who has been facing threats on her life, as her campaign manager described, following a recent U.S. House of Representatives vote involving American aid to Israel. The vandalism was discovered when officers were called to Ocasio-Cortez campaign office in Westchester Square around 12:45 a.m. The front of the office was found covered in red paint, and a sign was left alleging that Ocasio-Cortez funds genocide in Gaza. This accusation is particularly controversial, given that Ocasio-Cortez has repeatedly criticized the Israeli military's strikes in Gaza. The vandalism followed Ocasio-Cortez's vote against a defense spending bill amendment authored by Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. The amendment aimed to eliminate funding for the system protecting Israel from missiles. Ocasio-Cortez voted no on the defense spending bill itself, which passed the House and included more than $600 million in aid for Israel. This vote led to the Democratic Socialists of America accusing Ocasio-Cortez of backing Israel's eliminationist campaign against the Palestinian people. Ocasio-Cortez, who has been vocal about her belief that Israel's military actions in Gaza amount to a genocide, has often faced political criticism from U.S. conservatives. In response to the accusations, she took to X, stating, "Google is free. If you're saying I voted for military funding, you are lying." In a separate post, Ocasio-Cortez campaign manager, Oliver Hidalgo Wolben, revealed that the office vandalism coincided with her staff having recently received multiple threats on the congresswoman's life. He assured that they were taking the situation seriously and working with security partners to ensure the safety of the congresswoman, her staff, and volunteers. Ocasio-Cortez, who has represented New York's 14th congressional district since early 2019, has been a prominent figure in U.S. politics. Her endorsement of the Democratic Socialist candidate Zohran Mamdani in New York City's mayoral race in June captured national headlines. But here's where it gets controversial. While Ocasio-Cortez has been a vocal critic of Israel's actions in Gaza, her vote against the defense spending bill amendment has sparked criticism from the Democratic Socialists of America. This raises the question, where do we draw the line between supporting a nation's right to defend itself and condemning actions that may be seen as human rights violations? It's a complex issue, and one that is sure to spark differing opinions. What are your thoughts on this matter?